Static balance is an essential skill that most riders don't realize is actually quite easy to learn and will help you so much on the trails. Your ability to do this is extremely important when it comes to those technical situations. Now, I'm Rich Larsen, I'm a hard enduro trainer, an enduro cross trainer. I'm from IRC Tire, and I got my buddy Charles.
Yeah.
He's ready to go today from Rocky Mountain ATV. We are going to teach him how to static balance. Now, you've already got a giant hole dug, and so that's a huge part of what we're gonna show you guys today. But first, what I wanna see is you pop up. Show me your best balance.
You want me to get out of that hole?
Yeah, Doug, go ahead and do it there. Show me your best balance in the hole.
Best balance. I got to do this so I quit crashing as much.
So 1 second in the hole. Not
One
bad.
second.
Not bad. So what we're going to do is show you guys the best way to learn this skill. I always say, if you can balance, it's gonna help you so much in those technical situations, keeping your feet on the pegs. Doesn't matter if you're an enduro cross rider, hard enduro rider, or a trail rider, you will get into those situations that are technical and you need this skill. It's extremely helpful. So it doesn't take long. As you can see here, we're on flat ground, and I'm gonna help Charles get dialed in 100% with his balance. So what we're going to do here is dig a little bit of a hole for that front tire. Little hole, nothing much. Charles, go ahead and pull your front tire into that. Okay. And go ahead and turn to the, whatever way that is, I'm facing you, left. So if you guys notice here, we've got my tire touching the ground without a hole. We've got about 6-8 inches of contact. We dig a hole for Charles, and you can see here, we've taken that contact and almost doubled it. That extra contact is gonna assist him in his action and reaction when turning from left to right, okay? So what I mean by that is when you come up into your balance, I want you to be turning to counteract your balance. So as you fall to the left, you turn to the left. Okay. As you fall to the right, you turn to the right. Turn into the direction you're falling. What's going to happen is that front tire is going to push. In fact, you can even see the front tire is digging into the ground, right? As you fall to the left, it digs into the ground and kicks you back to the right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The next thing we're gonna do is, because your tire's turned to the left, we're gonna start with your right foot on the peg. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the example of exactly what I want you to do. We're gonna hold your front brake, right foot on the peg. Notice where my suspension is. See how it drove down? Lower center of gravity equals easier to balance, right? There you go. So now, notice my butt isn't on the seat. I'm pushing hard on that peg, and I come up, I'm already balancing, and I can see you're doing the same. I use that muscle in my right quad to stand up nice and slow into a balanced position, okay? So nice and slow coming up. Remember the turn, little bit of turn. As you fall
all
to the
way
left,
to the lock right there.
Turn to the right, look at that, beautiful. Once you start to get that foot on the peg, now feel your bars. You can feel, see how that's counteracting what you're doing? Turn into the direction you're falling. Beautiful. This is, see, we've already gone from 1 second to,
hey, are these Mississippi or 1/1000s?
I mean, we're into a minute by this point, right? You're killing it. So this is the perfect way to find that coordination and ability to counteract what that machine is doing. This is the perfect way to learn it. Then we slowly make it harder and harder. So drop back down. Now, what's the hardest part of that? What you just did, what was the hardest part?
Just focusing on turning. So I guess my question is it more important to turn, or it sounds like it's more important to turn than to swing my legs or hips or whatever?
So I always say you would rather have your feet on the pegs, right?
Okay.
If your feet are on the pegs, you're in proper position to hit the obstacle that's in front of you. What your goal here is balance in situational, when we're in a technical situation.
Yep.
Your feet are on the pegs, you're in better position on the bike. So the goal, you can use your legs a little bit, but once you find that balance, get those feet on the pegs, then kind of unhinge, we're kind of letting that bike uncouple and flow underneath us. Usually the hardest part of balance is coming up onto the pegs, right? So what I do is I make you repeat coming up onto the pegs over and over and over and over. Okay, so come up onto the pegs, find your balance and drop back down. Nice job, starting the same, driving his way forward, coming up, Nice and smooth. I like how, and use that muscle in your quad. Slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. So you're already kind of there you go. That's better. We're above that seat. We want to stay above that seat. Not bad. Good job. As you can see, that's the toughest part. Once he kind of finds his balance, hopefully. Relax.
Yeah, no, that's way better.
Boom, he's in, okay? So now, drop back down. That's good. Turn your tire to the right. We also want to learn it both ways. This way's gonna be a little bit more challenging, and every time I do this, work your tire and go like this. Just a little bit, back and forth, back and forth. Notice how it's moving. Keep going until it stops moving. All the way to the right. There we go, that's good. Now, what I mean by that is we just wanna move this much, and if you notice here, you can see that, see how much movement there is?
Yep.
We don't wanna push further past that point. There's that extra little bit of pressure. That's where the pressure and counteraction is gonna have when you're in that balanced position. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That little bit of movement, that's what we're looking for. So
okay.
now, we start with the left foot on the peg because your tire's turned to the right. Nice and slow coming up, same way. You can see it's much harder to the right, but actually you're kind of dialed in. So one thing I also want to mention is like, notice where Charles's knees are. A lot of dudes who ride a little bit more on the moto side, they don't maybe get into that more technical stuff. They're very focused on like squeezing with the knees and being in that like attack position, right? In hard enduro cross, you're gonna see a lot more trials style come out of a rider, where our knees are out. We're using that, letting that bike flow under us at that really, really slow speed. Of course, there is a time and a place to be squeezing with your knees, but a lot of times you're gonna see my knees wide in those extremely slow situations. There you go. And what I actually will do is, good job, Charles. You're nailing it, dude. Not bad. Cool. So now we're gonna move you forward a little bit. This time what I want you to do is put your rear tire in that hole. Keep coming forward. Very nice. Now work your front tire into the left. Little bit, yep.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Go back and forth a few times. There you go. We've added a little bit of a loose soil here. It's digging in a little bit, giving him that extra contact, and then he has his rear tire in a hole. That's gonna assist him a little bit. Again, we're trying to deliberately make it kind of, we start very easy and we make it harder and harder and harder until you've got it mastered on flat ground. Go ahead and try it one more time. I would start with my right foot on the peg if my tire is turned to the left.
Yeah.
Drive your weight forward.
And then all the adjustments, it's just fine adjustments, not big movement.
And also I want you to notice when I'm balancing here, something I will do, I'll kind of face you. When I'm balancing here, I drive my weight forward, I come up nice and slow, and then notice my tire's turned to the left, right? So I will lean the bike into my left leg and spread that right knee out. See how my right knee's kind of a counterbalance?
Yep.
Left knee's here, right knee's out. That outside right knee is gonna allow you to have that little bit. That's where we're trying to almost spread instead of squeezing in with our knees, right? Slow speed requires that more trials style form with your body position. You can see it's much harder, right?
Yep.
So work that tire in a little more. Drive your weight forward. Come up nice and slow. Use the muscle in your quad to stand up. Not bad, dude. Start with your weight a little further back.
Further back.
Drive your weight forward and then kind of come back a little bit. There you go. But see how your butt is on the seat? We always want to keep that butt off the seat. There you go. That's a better position to start it. Slow. Not bad. We're getting there.
My quads are burning.
So yeah, you can get a good workout without even starting your bike, right?
I also have chicken legs, so that doesn't help. Oh, there we go.
Not bad, not bad. So one last little tip. If you notice there, your tire is all the way to lock. Yeah. Because his tire is all the way to lock, he doesn't have the ability to turn anymore when you're falling in that direction. So what I would do is work it in and then hold it about right there.
Okay.
Drive your weight forward. That way you have that ability, if you're falling to the left, to turn to the left, falling to the right, turn to the right. Sometimes what I'll do too, go ahead and go up again, is I'll just help a little bit. And it's amazing, like I'm only putting like a pound of pressure on the rear. It's just this little assistance to find that center point. Slow it down, relax a little bit. There you go. Come on, pull that thing back. There you go. Slow, slow. This is one of those balance drills that is so challenging, but if you're working it the right way, again, I'm barely touching the rear here, just trying to give him that little bit of assistance. What I would say is maybe we need to back up a little bit and add one little extra hole for you. We kind of worked forward a little bit too fast.
Giving you guys false hope.
There you go. You were showing me so good in the beginning. Okay, turn it to the, yeah, try it to the right. There you go. Hard push on that left peg. Again, we barely gave you anything, but it's just that little extra bit is gonna assist you so much. Beautiful. Beautiful job. So as you can see there, that little extra bit helped him so much in completing that balance, and that's what our goal is. We need to find those little advantages to help you guys learn how to do this. This is a super solid drill that's gonna help every single rider. I mean, honestly, it'll even help you in the moto. I always say there's 3 tenets to riding a motorcycle. We've got balance, body position, and power delivery, or throttle and clutch control. The better you get at your balance, the better you will get with your body position and your throttle and clutch control. Your ability to balance puts you in the right position on the machine, and then everything else is gonna come so much easier. I hope you guys get out there, get some static balance dialed in. I also do all of these things on the IRC Moto YouTube channel. Give that a shout out, check it out. And Charles, good job, man.
Hey, thanks.